Hey, it's Gina at Tarot and Thyme in Kent, Connecticut. I'm here to give you a tarot reading today. This tarot reading can be used anytime that you watch this video, but I am filming it today, April 1st, 2021, which is April Fool's Day. It's also our grand opening 1-year anniversary. So we launched virtually 1 year ago today. We were supposed to be opening our physical location in Kent, but we were in lockdown. So April 1st meant a lot to me. It's my aunt Gloria Castro, who's someone I love very dearly, passed away on April 1st. And I really wanted to open in her honor and just to feel her all around me, to continue to feel her all around me. So I moved ahead with the virtual grand opening reluctantly, but we did it anyways. Wasn't sure how many people would respond to tarot readings over Zoom, but I was pleasantly surprised how many people have partaken in it. So I want to celebrate the 1-year anniversary. I want to talk about the Fool's Journey. So kind of launching a year ago felt like my own fool's journey. Boy, did I not know what I was getting into, but I just kept listening to the messages that I was receiving that I should move forward. So thank you for all your support. Let's talk about the superhero spread that we're going to use. This is out of Sheilaa Hite's book, 101 Tarot Spreads. This is a fabulous book. When you're working with your tarot cards by yourself and you really want to be really specific what you're asking, there's some great ideas in this book. We do stock this book at our Kent location and it's on our online store also. So this is all about the superhero and what we can do to overcome the odds. So I wanted to just read a little quote out of this book. This is Sheilaa, another one of Sheilaa's books called The Infinite Tarot. This is the fabulous companion book to the tarot deck. So if you're new to it, this is a great place to start. So the Fool, card number 0. The whole premise of tarot is about his journey, about meeting his teachers. So the first sentence is, all journeys and new beginnings start with. And it says, sometimes the only transportation available is a leap of faith. And so I'm feeling that leap of faith today for sure that I took last year, and I feel like I'm continually trying to launch this business during these crazy times. So the Fool is related to Aquarius. Aquarius is usually like one step ahead of the game. They often have a hard time being understood by others. So they can appear foolish in a way sometimes, but they're following their intuition. They're following their higher power, the messages that they receive. So here he is. Sometimes he looks like he's walking off a cliff, but then the path appears. So this is the Rider-Waite version. That's the one most people know. And I'm working with 3 different decks here, so I'm using a couple different versions. Here is this deck. This is the Medicine Woman deck. The Fool is called Seed, and she's planting new seeds. That's pile number 1. Pile number 2, this is a Ciro Marchetti, I believe I'm saying his last name right, deck, and this is the Fool here, actually working with a bunch of tarot cards. And so that's pile number 2, and then pile number 3, I'm using the Everyday Witch, and there she is. Okay. So go ahead, pick your pile, and let's get started on the superhero spread, which we're going to talk about what your specialty is, what your weak points are, your strong points, what's really the heart of the matter in your Fool's journey, and your best teacher through it. Okay, pick your pile, let's get started. Okay, pile number 1, we've got the Fool here, the Seed card. I'm going to put it back into this deck so we can see if it comes up in the reading. This is a spontaneous reading, so we'll see what happens. You'll notice I'm going to post a copy of this spread Position number 1 calls for a major arcana, and position number 5 calls for a major arcana. So I've taken all the major arcanas out of another deck called the Tattoo Tarot. And so we are going to specifically place some major arcanas there. If you're only working with one deck, you could do that first, separate the majors out, and then shuffle the rest back in and continue to draw the other spots. And if a major comes up there, then that's fine too. So I like working with 2 decks just in case we get a double. So your superhero specialty for position number 1, and then your mentor for position number 5. We've got position number 2, kryptonite, your weak point. Let's see what that is. That one fell out. I'm going to put it back in. Kryptonite, your weak point. Position number 3, your mission. What's the heart of the matter here? And position number 4, antidote to kryptonite, your strong point. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So, major arcana, your superhero specialty. You've got the Hermit leading you as your specialty. So the Hermit is associated with the sign Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, which is a planet of communication. It also rules highways, which is interesting because the Hermit's always seen kind of traveling by foot usually. The Hermit's always searching for truth, his truth. And you know, it's the Hermit, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be alone your whole life. The Hermit's able to function in relationships. They just need their space. I live with 3 hermits, so I know about that one. Okay, your superhero specialty. So to pay attention, he's got his eyes closed. You know how to pay attention to that inner wisdom, to those inner messages that are being given to you, and how to sort through them. Virgos are very detailed, sorting through what's just maybe garbage thoughts and what's the real truth in it. Respecting it, knowing that there's value in the information that you're being given. So this is your specialty, to be able to take the time to sort through what's true, what's not true. It's interesting that there's an eye in that flame. It's like an eyeball. So working near a candle might be something really good for you when you're trying to figure out your way, trying to figure out actually which way you're going. Doing a nice kind of half gaze meditation near a candle. You'll hear me talking about baths all the time. I love combining the two and doing a nice bath meditation with a candle. Great way to sort through, give your mind space to calm down, and allow your higher power to speak to you, because that's what the Fool card is really all about, is being a channel for that information to come in, to guide you, and to guide you in places that you might not have gone. I know for myself, I was scared opening a tarot shop. I was scared, but I kept moving forward, kept paying attention to the messages I was receiving, and now I'm really doing something that I love to do. So I see that for you too. Position number 2, kryptonite, your weak point. So here's the Star card. It's the grandfathers. In this deck, it's called the grandfathers. Let me see if you can see that. So they're kind of guiding him towards this waterfall. And so the Star card comes in. It's interesting, it's a major arcana because it was open to be anything in that position. So the Star comes in after the Tower, when things fall apart. Things have been cleared out of your way. The Star card comes in as hope. It's the grandfather. So there's this guidance coming in through the masculine side, leading you to the right way. So I'm almost getting like your weak point is maybe that you don't know yet how to trust that, how to understand that that's real, that's something there for you to guide you, and it's guiding you towards this waterfall and towards this star. So there's this like purification happening, there's this guidance coming in. So maybe your weak point is that you're still kind of caught up in like the traumatic things that have happened when the Tower came through, and now you need to understand that things have been cleared out of your way for a reason. Things have been moved so that you can have this different experience. Now he's pointing towards a waterfall. think about waterfalls, they let off negative ions when you're near a waterfall. They say, like, if you're depressed, that a waterfall is a really great place to be because of the negative ions that are coming off of it, that as you breathe them in, as you're around it, it makes you feel more positive, has the opposite effect. Where like air conditioning lets off positive ions that make us feel down. So sage is another thing. When you burn sage, it lets off negative ions that help us feel better. That's like the scientific approach to why to use sage in your home. But it's clearing, it helps clear. So I'm just getting the message that your weak point may be on your clearing abilities, that you need to sharpen those. So maybe you need to be saging your home, especially your bedroom. You need to be clearing out energetically and making space for these guides that are there to guide you. And I think that we think that the guides is gonna, like our guides are gonna show themselves to us so strong, but sometimes it's so subtle. And so to really slow down, again, your superhero power is in the details. Slow down, calm the mind down, close your eyes, and feel them trying to connect with you, not just going through the logical thoughts about it. Okay, so number 3, your mission. What's the heart of the matter here? What's your mission? And here's the 6 of bowls or 6 of cups. Now he's got like this woman kind of like almost in like a flower like design, almost looks like it's tattooed there on his chest. And he's weaving these flowers together. So the 6 of cups is about shared joy. And what I'm just getting is like this memory of someone. And it could be someone who's in your heart, or it could be someone who's no longer physically with us here anymore, but that that everything that you're doing is out of their memory, their love. It's interesting that I dedicated this reading to my aunt, Gloria. And so opening my shop was in memory of her, wanting her fun energy there, because she was quite a fun girl, and I felt very safe with her energy with me, that I know she'll always protect me. So here it is for you, that almost like you're doing something in honor of someone. Or maybe if it's not someone on the other side, maybe it's in honor of your children. But there's something there in your heart that brings you joy, that's keeping you busy and keeping you almost in this meditative state. So your mission, I'm getting clearly, is that you do need to be taking the time to meditate. And I know that sounds sometimes like an awful thing, but it can be in really easy ways. Like he's just like weaving these flowers together. It could be a simple act. I think that's what prayer beads were all about, right? Just kind of, I think, I've never done it personally, but I think it's just like counting the beads and just this repetition that keeps you in the moment. So finding a meditation that works for you, living your life, your mission. If you're trying to take on something new right now, then do it. Maybe find someone that you can dedicate it to. Maybe find an ancestor, even if you didn't know them. Maybe you can find someone to connect with, that that can be a helpful friend to you to move forward, and that you can have this emotional connection with. It seems that there's the grandfather energy around this, so maybe it has something to do with your grandparents. But sometimes when we do something in honor of someone else, it gives us more motivation to get going. Okay, number 4, antidote to kryptonite, your strong point. So your weak point was over here with the star, the grandfather's card. Your strong point is here, 5 of pipes, or would traditionally be called 5 of wands. And she's playing like this flute, calling in these animals. So I almost feel like your strong point is like almost that you can work in the realm of the animal guides, that you feel a connection to nature, and you feel a connection to maybe working with different spirit animals, but not so much the connection with actual people. And so the message that I'm getting is that they want to work with you. And if you can do it calling in the animals, then you can do it calling in your ancestors that you so choose. And choose carefully. And again, working with sage is helpful to kind of keep your house crispy clean energetically. So your strong point, antidote to kryptonite. Your strong point is that you know how to do that, so you can repeat it into the realm of ancestors, and almost like you speak that language, like she's playing this flute, this animal's feeling it. You speak the language of nature. Okay. And now your mentor, card number 5, what's going to be your teacher through this? Through something new that you want to take on, that you want to delve deeper into your path, what's true for you, your spiritual path. You are being guided towards it. Again, you can do it in honor of someone, something that you really love, because it has to be coming out of your heart chakra. It can't be coming out of because you need money or something like that. It has to be something that you feel passionate about that can help you move forward. Your mentor is the Tower. And it's interesting that that came up, because I was referencing the Tower before when I was talking about the star and how that Tower came through to clear things out of your way for you. This is associated with Aquarius also, unpredictable change, the lightning bolt of change. And so really that is your mentor. It's a pretty wild mentor to have, but it's going to help you. So the Tower comes in and it takes things out of your way that maybe you wouldn't have normally removed. And so sometimes it takes a while to see that it really was a blessing, but the Tower is there to work with you, to be your teacher. So I would do some reading about the Tower and see, it gets portrayed in a negative light, but there really is a gift to it. The lightning bolt of change, and it's ready for you to take some steps to move forward along the path of your truth. And it's basing you here in the foundation in this Aquarian energy to take this leap of faith. That you might feel foolish. I felt foolish opening a tarot shop. I was nervous for a while, but I kept moving forward, baby steps. And so I see you doing that too. Do it in honor of someone, something that moves from your heart, and get ready to move forward on this path. And maybe the path is just about you getting a good meditation practice. Maybe it's about you trying to tap into your ancestors more. And someone who's on the other side is really what I'm seeing. I'm feeling it's like grandfather's is coming up strong, but there's a woman pictured in his heart. So maybe it's your grandparents. But practice what you've done. Maybe she's playing a flute, so it could be that your language is music. And so just know that working with your ancestors, working with your guides, it's not the regular language that we're used to speaking. It's different, it's softer, but you know how to do it. I think you've done that with your animal guides. So maybe ask your animal guides for some help here on taking it up a step. So thanks for joining me, and happy April Fools. And if it's not April Fools when you're watching it, just the energy of that fool's journey, taking the leap towards things that you love, that you want in your life. Have a good day. Okay, I'm here with pile number 2. So we have this beautiful Fool card pointing towards all these different tarot cards. So I'm going to put it back in the deck, shuffle that up. This is a spontaneous reading, so we'll see what comes up. You'll see that position number 1 and position number 5 in this spread are calling for major arcanas. So what I've done is separated my majors, I took them from another deck. This is the Tattoo Tarot, and I'm going to use those for position 1 and 5. If you only have one tarot deck, you can just separate the major arcanas out, first the 22 major arcanas, and then you could shuffle them back in after you draw. So here is position number 1, your superhero specialty, and position number 5, your mentor, your teacher through this. Okay, so we're talking about the superhero spread. This is how to overcome what might seem to be impossible odds in order to accomplish our goals. Okay, here on our 1-year anniversary of Tarot and Times virtual opening. A bunch of specials going on. You might want to check out our Instagram and Facebook page. We're giving away a lot of readings. Okay, so position number 2, kryptonite, your weak point. Position 3, your mission. What's the heart of the matter here? Position 4, the antidote to kryptonite, your strong point. Okay, so let's see what we have. Major Arcana, your superhero specialty. Ah, you got the Fool. Look at that. This is from the Tattoo Tarot. Fool here is pictured as a beautiful woman with her eyes blindfolded, smelling this flower, which actually almost looks like it's a snake, which is interesting. So she's blindfolded. She really doesn't have even the vision to know which way to go. But you can feel the joy emanating off of her, and she is ready to move forward because she's guided. So she doesn't even need her own sight to be able to know exactly which way to go. So that's exciting to see the Fool come up. Your superhero specialty is you're a superhero. You already know how to do this. It's very Aquarian. Aquarian's considered the genius of the zodiac, very forward thinking. So I wouldn't be surprised if people are wondering what you're doing with your life or what you're up to now. And that's okay, because you know. You might not be able to express at all what you're feeling, but maybe you can. I mean, you are Aquarian. They are very much out of logic. But the Fool has been able to find the balance between that logic and then following that intuitive pull. So number 2, kryptonite. What's your weak point here? And we have the Page of Coins, or Page of Pentacles. So it's this young energy, and Pentacles is anything you value. So it could just be as simple as your weak point could just be not knowing how to work with money very well. It could be. So whatever your project is, whatever it is that you're trying to move forward, whatever your Fool's journey is, you may want to get some financial planning help in that. Meet with people who have a little bit more experience about that, because it's something new for you. It's this young energy, your weak point. And it's really good to know your weak point so you can get help. Okay, your mission. So what is your mission? What is the heart of the matter going on here? And we have the Lovers card coming up. That's an interesting version of the Lovers. So there is this relationship, it looks pretty hot and heavy here, coming together, but the Lovers, remember, the Lovers is a Gemini card. It's ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. And so we know there's a reference here, like there's an apple down there. This card in the Rider-Waite deck is bringing up the Adam and Eve story. We know the choices that we make affect, Adam and Eve's story affected all of mankind. But our choices, and especially in relationships, set us up for years of our lives. And so your mission, the heart of the matter, is to make sure that you're taking the time to take that pause before you jump into something. Because it looks like there is this opportunity coming for you, but you need to make sure that you're not just reacting out of the heat of the moment. This is like very hot and heavy. And so make sure that you pause before you leap, before you make the decision, okay? And so this could be, it really looks like a sexual kind of relationship, but this could be any kind of relationship that's together, that something's being offered, that it feels so right. Make sure that you take the time to take the deep breath. Make sure that you're really valuing yourself, because as much as the Page of Coins could be money, it could also be self-value. And it can be are you really seeing your own value going into this new relationship? And this relationship, again, it can be It feels love related, but it could just be a work opportunity that you've been really wanting for a long time. And so the message is to take the pause, take the deep breath, make sure that you're receiving messages clearly on what is best for you. Now let's look at card number 4, the antidote to the kryptonite. So the weak point, the kryptonite being this Page of Pentacles, the antidote is, ooh, the 10 of coins, the 10 of Pentacles. There's that treasure chest. I'm seeing it as saving because it's under lock and key. There's also a symbol for Venus there and a symbol for Virgo. So Venus, which would rule money and jewelry, and there's a bunch of stones in there too. You can see up top, there's that Venus symbol, and then there's a Virgo symbol. So Virgo being very detailed about things, right? Being really searching through the details. It's also ruled by Mercury. So, I don't know, I just think of a Virgo being more like taking their time before they jump, where Gemini, that's ruled by the same sign, just wants to leap right in, which is more associated with the Lovers. So you want to be thinking about your long-term success, specifically financially. So if you're moving into a relationship with someone new and they are financially struggling right now, you may want to be considering about your long-term, how that's going to affect you long-term. And I know that's hard to do in the heat of the moment. This also could be related to the work opportunity. That is it long-term going to bring you the financial success that you're looking for? Does it have the value? Are you going to love what you do enough to be able to have it be the right move for you? The key is there. This just reminds me of like the way that Saturn has been explained to me, that Saturn is like the rules, and then over time it gives you this key to the treasure chest. So long-term success. So that is your strong point, is to think about the big picture, to think about saving, about thinking about ahead, and making sure that you really love what you're doing, because that's worth more than anything, to really enjoy what you're doing. Okay, so card number 5, your mentor, your teacher, who's here to support you through this. And you've got the Strength card. You love the Strength card. Can you see that? The lion is just like her headdress. So she looks to have her eyes closed in this prayer position. The Fool is up here, blindfolded. So the answer for you is to go within. They're actually eyes closed here too. Go within, make sure that the path that you're choosing, the goals that you feels impossible, you can get what you want. Just make sure that you're going in to be able to know for sure. So take the external visual out of it. Go in and feel what's right. Because as much as this flower, it looks like a beautiful flower, there's also a snake coming up. We also have the snake wrapped around down here, down by the apple. So there's kind of like this trickster energy around, is what you're signing up for, what you're really gonna get. I guess that's the feeling that I'm getting. So please take a look at how your self-value, if you're really, are you going, this relationship, whatever it may be, love or work or whatever, it could be friendship even, but it does point more towards love. If you're already in a relationship, the next stage of that relationship, are you planning ahead for your future? How is your spending? Are you planning ahead for this next portion of your life so that you can have that freedom, to have that fool's journey, so you can get up and go when you want to go? Your teacher is the Strength card. Strength is ruled by the sun. It's the heart chakra. It's working from there, and your power coming from there. So really make the right choices so that you don't get stuck. The 8 is that infinity sign, right? You want to get stuck in a loop of greatness. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have to tell you for pile number 2. Just take a deep breath. Close your eyes, do some nice meditation. Make sure that these choices are the right ones for you. Thanks for joining me. Okay, I'm here with pile number 3. This fun Fool's card. I love this version from the Everyday Witch deck. You know things are just going to work out for her. She walks off that cliff, her path appears. So I'm going to put her back into this deck, shuffle her back in so she has a chance of coming up again. And so we have some cards going in different directions here. So we are talking about the superhero spread. What did I do here? All right, let's try that again. So for all of us who what does it say here? Is for all of us caped crusaders who somehow manage to overcome seemingly impossible odds in order to accomplish our goals. April Fool's Day, let's talk about it. Let's talk about using that Fool energy in our favor to live a life we love, to learn, to get out there, to live. So we're going to use this spread, superhero spread. It does call for position 1 and 5 to be major arcanas. So I separated the major arcanas out from another deck. This is the Tattoo Tarot. And so if you only have one deck, you can separate the major arcanas, pull card 1 and 5, and then shuffle them back in and then pull the rest of them. I like to work with 2. I like the chance of cards doubling. So position number 1, major arcana, your superhero specialty. Again, major arcanas are major secrets. They're the first 22 teachers, well, including the Fool. So the Fool goes out, he meets all of these teachers who teach him these life lessons that we came to this planet to learn, the kind of lessons that will repeat until we get them straight. So those are the cards that I've separated here. This one's falling out. I'm going to put that one down for your superhero specialty. Let's see what number 5, your mentor, who's going to be your teacher through this. Put those to the side. Go back to the Everyday Witch deck. Such a fun deck. And first position number 2, Kryptonite. What's your weak point? Position 3, your mission. What's really the heart of the matter here? Are you trying to start something new? Something where you're trying to overcome the impossible odds to reach your goal? Let's see what the heart of the matter is. And 4, antidote to kryptonite. What is your strong point? Okay. Let's get started. Position number 1, your superhero specialty. Here is the Empress. You can see her. She is a Taurus card ruled by Venus. So Venus, again, rules love, it rules self-love, it rules jewelry, it rules wallets, anything beautiful, it rules hair, so anything of beauty. And so the Empress, she's seen pregnant, always pictured in some stage of pregnancy. So she's giving birth to something new. And it looks to me almost like she's got like the world under that, in her belly. She's giving birth to something. So if you are ready to move toward your goals, your superhero ability here is to love yourself, to take good care of yourself, to honor yourself, all Venus kind of things. You have to take care of yourself. The Empress is usually pictured like lounging around. And so your specialty is that you know how to do self-care. You know, and if you don't, then this is the time to step up, because then you really can do it. It's your specialty. You can do it. Taurus, sometimes people who have Taurus suns and moons, they'll say they might be struggling financially. Well, Taurus rules money. Venus rules money. So the ability to recover it is very easy once they learn how. So if you're feeling not connected to your superhero specialty, then know that it can change to its opposite very easily. So start taking care of yourself, start being creative. I think of the Empress as like interior design and all that beauty and making things beautiful. You have that ability. Kryptonite, what's your weak point? And here's the Four of Pentacles sitting on this big treasure chest. Looks like the door's locked, but the window's open. So four's often associated with like a pause. Pentacles is that earth energy again, anything of value, Venus again. So maybe you tend to save and not want to spend, or tend to be afraid to make a move. And there's this new opportunity. There's this window has opened. This feels almost like old school mentality. Maybe you were taught not to spend a lot, to save, and maybe now this new goal of yours requires you to spend some money, and that's maybe making you scared. But things are changing. Both cards that have come up are associated with money. So you do have the ability to recover it, whatever it is that you need to spend. What is your mission? Let's see what the heart of the matter is here. There's the Seven of Cups. Looks like an herbal apothecary to me. Like there's all these offerings and she's choosing love. So you may have a lot of ideas right now. Seven of Cups, Seven of Water. Things can be foggy. There can be a lot of choices. And it looks like they're all really good choices, but she's choosing love. She's choosing something where she's moving from her heart. And so really pay attention. There may be other things that are logical that make sense to, maybe the word should is coming up a lot. I should do that. I should, well, my parents taught me this. And you need to be functioning from your heart so that you can really move forward. And I'm not saying to be foolish. I'm just saying that it's way better to do something that you love. Antidote to the kryptonite. So your weak point here with this Four of Pentacles, let's see what your strong point is. Here's the Ten of Cups. Often called the happy family card. Highest point of a minor arcana, 10. 10 is when it's starting to shift. 1 and 0 equals 1. So it's reached its highest point and going into a new stage, so to speak. So happy family card, you know your strong point is, like I'm getting like really motherly energy from this with the Empress. You know how to be that role. You know how to care for people. And this is if this is a man watching, it's still, we all have the positive I'm tripping up my words. The female, male energy is within us. Masculine, feminine is in us no matter what. So this is more that nurturing energy that you've got that down. And that's a fabulous thing. And that you know how to choose from love. You know how to make people feel good. You know how to nourish and how to just care for, tend to things. So that is your strong point. Maybe your weak point also has to do with not knowing how to handle finances. Now let's go down to your mentor, your teacher in all of this. And you've got the moon. And there's that lobster, which I do believe lobsters, like each portion of them grows during a different moon stage. So, okay, so the moon, watery energy. In tarot, the moon's associated with Pisces. So that foggy realm, that spiritual realm, that really intuitive realm. And so also knowing that this moon is all these different cycles. The moon is considered the closest planet to us that affects us. It's this watery pole, so there's a lot of emotions going on. That's why it's so important. I like to follow the moon calendar to know what sign the moon's in, because I have a lot of water energy in my chart, so I know that I can get really emotional. And knowing what stage the moon's in and tracking that for myself really helps me, because then I know, if I know when the moon's in Cancer, I'm gonna not feel at my best. I don't want to set myself up for that, but I do know through tracking it, through charting, I kind of use my moon calendar as like a diary, writing down how I feel. So I know that when the moon's in Cancer, I may cry, I may need to. And so maybe that's the time I don't schedule a lot. And so there's a power there in knowing there's your teacher is there as the moon. Through your emotions, you're learning this success. Through knowing that the moon stays in a sign for 2.5 days approximately, through knowing that that influence of the sign that it's in is going to affect you. So these are something that is your teacher there. Maybe this is a good time to start learning about the moon cycles. Maybe it's time to start tapping into things a little bit more alternative. And so this way you can treat yourself with more kindness, because when you're in a position of nurturing and caring for everyone, your moods are definitely going to affect you more than ever. So I advise you to check out a moon calendar, or you can even just Google it, but I like to use it as a notebook. So overall, your superhero specialty is very nurturing, very super creative, and can really rules anything involved with money. And it's interesting that your weak point also has something to do with money, but I'm seeing it more as like scarcity mentality, fear of spending it, fear of moving ahead. Take a look and see how you see it. There's a new opportunity opening up for you. You need to choose out of love, because I feel like you've been giving your energy to your family for a long time, and now it's got to come back to understanding yourself and what really moves you. It looks like you have a lot of options, so whatever it is that you want to move towards, like there's a lot of good options. Just choose the one that really speaks to your heart. The moon, your mentor, associated with Pisces. Pisces has to do, I think of it a lot as like hospice care, that nurturing energy with people going into the next phase of their life, because this is the last, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so it goes into that passing into the next phase of life. So there's things that you can learn there about what the afterlife would be interesting to see what your belief system is about that. The moon wants to be your teacher. So I encourage you to read about the moon, read about the sign Pisces. It's a little tricky because the moon in astrology is more associated with Cancer, the sign Cancer, but it's all watery energy. So just, yeah, I encourage you to learn about it. See how it affects you. It's your teacher. It wants to help you. So whatever it is you're going to do, you're going to be giving birth to something beautiful. Let it be something that you choose, that really moves your heart. Thank you for joining me. Happy April Fools, and have a great day.